Give me 10 minutes and I will make you irresistible to women. Most guys think they need to become someone else to attract women. But what if the real problem was that you're hiding the one thing that would make you irresistible? Maybe you've been using dating apps for years with nothing to show for it. Maybe you can solve complex algorithms but can't figure out why conversations always fizzle out. Maybe you're super successful at work and you operate at a high level, but as soon as an attractive woman walks in the room, you operate at 10% capacity. If you're an engineer, a developer, or just an analytical guy that lives in his head, this video is for you. I get it. I've coached hundreds of analytical men, engineers who are making over $200,000 a year who haven't been on a date in 3 years, developers who have built a multi-million-dollar product but can't build a connection. And here's the thing that I discovered after working with all these guys. The very thing that makes you successful at work, which is your logical brain, is what's sabotaging your dating life. So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you the 3 most important shifts that transformed guys who hadn't been touched in years into men who radiate the kind of energy that women can't ignore. Shift 1. Your nervousness is your superpower. Most guys think that confidence means having no anxiety, and that's total bullshit. When you confidently own the anxiety that you're feeling, or whatever's in the way of you connecting with her, connecting to her, being present with her, that actually creates an emotional connection and subsequent feelings of attraction because you're removing the obstacle. And by the way, the obstacle is the way. So that anxiety is actually your way into connecting with the women you've always wanted to connect with. Hiding your nervousness, your anxiety makes you come off as robotic, as boring, as safe, as weak, because what you do is you create this invisible wall over your body, over your self-expression. You mute your self-expression, and it actually blocks the woman from being able to tap into you, feel you, and get to know you from an experiential level, which is how women actually get to know people, especially men. It's how they experience a man that determines how they feel about that man. And that's great news, because that means by simply changing the way you experience and perceive your own anxiety or negative emotions will determine your ability to connect with the women you've always wanted to. That's the shortcut. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to get rid of all of the fear or all of the anxiety or all of the whatever is blocking you. You just have to change your relationship to it and be willing to open up and confidently own it. The difference between nervous energy that repels and nervous energy that attracts is literally opening your heart and confidently owning it. And what I mean when I say that is saying it as that it's a matter of fact that you feel this way right now, but you had to step through that to come and meet her because you didn't want to miss this opportunity. That is the most absolutely powerful, wonderful compliment that you can give a woman, that you had to meet her. You had to step through that. You're not going to let anything stop you from having this opportunity to connect with her and to find out more about her. Women never get compliments like that. Women get all the cheesy, you're beautiful, you're pretty, you're hot, you're sexy, blah, blah, blah. And then they put you into a category that you never want to be in, that you've probably been put into many times if you've used those compliments. This is especially powerful for analytical guys like engineers because you get real-time feedback and data that brings you closer and closer to your own personal truth. Shift 2 is stop thinking and start feeling. Engineers and analytical guys get stuck in their heads. You're computing responses instead of feeling responses. So when you're walled off, right, you have this kind of monotonous, robotic tone, like a lifeless tone when you speak, and it kills any chance of the woman wanting to continue the conversation with you or genuinely feeling interest or curiosity about you. Because either if they're very aware, they know that you're holding back and putting on a fake persona or trying to protect yourself, even worse, right? Or they just sense that there's something off and they don't like you or they don't feel anything for you, or at best, you feel like a friend. Although the robotic, droning kind of tone usually leads to women wanting to get away from you and ending the interaction as soon as possible or not even stopping in the first place. A woman can literally feel and understand a ton about you before you even start speaking. So if you're already walking up in your head, spinning, groaning, trying to figure out how to get her to like you and what to say, she's already going to shut down because she literally feels like there's a threat or an unknown entity moving towards her. She can't feel what your actual intentions are. And a lot of the times when guys approach women like this, they don't even know why the guy is talking to them because they feel like he doesn't even want to be there. And when you're approaching from that space, women most of the time won't even understand why you're talking to them. They certainly won't even get the sense that you're there because you're attracted to them, because most guys are shutting that part of them down and not letting them feel that they're attracted to them. And by the way, most of the time, approach anxiety is actually just your wires crossed. Like my students, when they discover this in our programs, it blows their mind because they discovered that the only reason they're actually anxious around the girl is because they're attracted to the girl. The wires in their body and their physiology and their emotional connections and wired inputs in their mind are crossed, and they start viewing their anxiety as turn on and desire, which is a completely different, again, remember I said, changing your relationship to the feelings is the secret. So that unravels them really fast in the program, and they start getting really comfortable and even feeling sexy in their body. So in your interactions, when you start being more interested in feeling the physical sensations in your body and the emotions in your body and allowing them and welcoming them instead, they start unraveling to reveal a deeper truth, which is nature, right? You're a man and she's a woman, and you're there because you feel feelings of attraction, turn on, and desire. And when those feelings start naturally coming through your body and your interactions, they do all the heavy lifting. So I'm going to give you an exercise on how to start actually feeling and playing the different notes in your personality, right? We're going to focus on 3 energy centers today. There are 7, but we only need to really focus on 3, especially to start out. And that is the heart, the solar plexus, and the sacral, which is where the turn on, where the mojo lives, where literally our most authentic selves. Pick a spot. You're going to pick your heart. You're just going to imagine breathing in and out through the heart. Better if you breathe through your nose and your tongue is at the roof of your mouth. Put a timer on for 5 minutes. Imagine each breath is in through the heart, out through the heart, calmly feeling it. If it's really hard for you to interpret this, if you're analyzing how to do it, what I want you to do is put a hand on your chest right now. If I pinched you in your chest, you would feel it, right? You don't have to think about the sensation there. So that's just an example. Put your hand on your chest, keep it there, and just imagine, even if you just imagine, right? I can literally feel the energy moving in and out of my heart because I've worked on this stuff a lot. Take your hand off. Now you can focus there easily. Put a timer on for 5 minutes, right? And try it, even 2 or 3 minutes. And then try it with the solar plexus, which is located right where your stomach organ is, where the ribs here start to part. In that center area, that's your self-esteem and personal power center. That's where you begin to feel a sense of solidness inside. Like no matter what happens externally, you have something to hold on to through any kind of emotional storm or tension or difficulty. You might get a variety of sensations as you do this. The longer you go, the deeper you'll go, and the more pronounced it'll be. Which brings me to the most important shift of all. Shift number 3. She should be earning you. The biggest mindset shift that absolutely changes everything. You need to approach for your own freedom. If you approach for numbers, dates, and sex, you're already coming from a needy place, and your metric for success is going to be whether you got said number, said date, or got laid. And in the beginning, it might not be that way, so it's going to spiral you down and demotivate you and put you into the push and avoid cycle where you force yourself to do a bunch of approaches. You burn out because your metric tracking is in the wrong focus, and you go in a void for weeks, months, sometimes even years until you can't take it anymore and you go back into a push. The paradox is when you stop needing the outcome to happen, when you let go of the attachment to outcome, when you are indifferent to outcome, the outcome happens easier. It's the great joke of the universe. It's the great paradox of reality. The more you want something and need something, the harder it is to get that thing, the further away that it feels. When you approach for your own freedom, you're going to be more self-expressed. You're going to take more conversational risks because you're there to transform yourself, and anything else is second to that. And when you really practice that well, you will meet women. You will meet women who are genuinely interested in you and that you are genuinely interested in beyond their looks. So you actually have a really wonderful connection with off the bat. In 10 minutes, you found out what took me 10 years of inner work and real world action to figure out for myself. You know that confidence is not about having no fear. It's actually about your relationship to the fear. You know that attraction happens in the body and not the mind. And you know now that that moment when you stop needing her validation is actually when she begins to want you. Now, if you're analytical like me, you're probably already starting to see the logic here. This isn't woo-woo nonsense. It's a systematic approach to embodiment that actually works. But here's what I learned after coaching hundreds of engineers and tech professionals through to this transformation. Understanding it intellectually is not enough. You can't think your way into embodiment. The patterns keeping you stuck are not just mental, they're actually stored in your body. The body keeps the score. Years of sitting at a desk, living in your head, and optimizing for logic over feeling. Plus, there's something that happens when you're around other men on the same journey. When you see a software engineer approach a woman for the first time and get her number, your brain goes, wait, if he can do it, when you're in the field supporting each other and doing it together, the growth compounds. That's why I work with analytical men to help them embody these shifts in real life, not just understand them conceptually. Look, if you're making good money, crushing it at work, but your dating life is like a desert, if you're tired of being the guy that women see as a friend and never a lover, if you want to finally understand what it feels like to have choice with women instead of taking whatever you can get, if you're actually ready to do something about it instead of watching another video and doing nothing, we'll talk about where you're at, what's been blocking you, and how I might actually be able to help. Just a real conversation between two analytical guys about what it actually takes to transform your life. But honestly, if you're not ready to do the inner work, don't book the call. This is not a magic pill. You have to be willing to feel uncomfortable, to face your edges, and to actually practice what I teach. The link is in the description for those who are ready to stop thinking about change and to start embodying change. This is Jules Bia with the Model Work Method, and I'll see you on the other side.